Hey friends, 56 days of quarantine in southeastern Michigan, May 8th. This is not a snow day. However, it is snowing. It is May 8th. Snow is coming down from the sky. My good friend Vikas, who also set me up with the light rig I've been using this whole time, sent me a text this morning. He's like, it might not be a snow day, but it's a snow day. It's true. And it's a Friday, which used to mean a lot of things and maybe still does mean a lot of things. And it's the close of the work week. It's a chance to go home and spend some time away from work. And that's kind of blurry for our kids. They are living at school. It's kind of inescapable. What used to be the source of play and choice, their computers, is now also their outlet for school and vice versa for us. So things are really, really mixed up right now. And I think it's hard to find some separations. And my topic today is something I read a lot about, which is parents and teachers who are really concerned that kids are falling behind. Behind what? Well, behind benchmarks, behind standards. Where did that come from? I've always been really curious about this, even when my own children were born and they're like, well, they're in the so-and-so percentile. Like, no, they're them. They are them. And however big their head is or isn't, they're fine. And I have been a human who has been off the charts in all kinds of ways my whole life. From being extremely skinny and very, very short up until I went to college, where I stopped part of that, from test scores where I got entire sections correct and other sections where I only got 2 answers correct out of 45 questions. I would love for us to take a pause from all of these metrics and benchmarks and keeping up with the Joneses and last year and typical and just stop and let your kids and let you be yourself. Just be who you are today. And that can be enough. And that is easier to say than to do. I'll own that. You're enough. And what you're doing is okay. And this week, you got through it. And maybe there was some school, and maybe there was some learning that didn't take place in school. Maybe you painted a treehouse. Maybe you built a bird sanctuary that really is just ladders, and that's okay. Maybe it's snowing in May. Okay, because what's the race? One of the things I always worried about was when we push students, they don't authentically live where they are. When you get to the next grade, well, what about this grade? Doesn't this grade count? Because if we're constantly trying to meet a benchmark or get to the next year, get ready for that year, it really devalues the moments we're in. And then we're not in any moments. We're just constantly planning and looking ahead and measuring and feeling superior because we hit some number that someone set, or feeling defective because we didn't. I've always been concerned about pushing students to take college classes in high school, because almost all the behavior that we celebrate in colleges, when high school kids do it, they get suspended. And yet we are constantly pushing kids to go into college classes. So when they get to college, those colleges are still going to get their money. It's not like they have to take less classes. They're not actually saving money. They just have some more options. And that can be cool. And I'm not putting down the entire AP system, except for the fact that it's a corporation that takes money from students, becomes a gatekeeper for equity. So I guess I do have a couple problems with AP. But more than that, I just worry that we're constantly pushing. And I've seen it a lot here now, when it seems like the whole world is coming to an understanding that things are different. And yet we keep holding people to marks that are established in a world that doesn't exist anymore. So your kids are fine, and you are fine. And I don't want you to push yourself any harder. It's okay to have the week you had. And it might have been a kick butt week. I killed it on Wednesday. I'm not going to lie. Tuesday wasn't great. That's okay. That's the week I had. And so next week I can try again. And always pleased, never satisfied. Okay, but that's a whole lot of dissatisfaction. So I want to try and just get you to pause, press pause, the 2 bars, and not hold yourself to any standards that don't make sense anymore. And if you can't really articulate what behind or ahead is, then you're chasing a ghost. So it's the weekend. Do your best to structurally, as well as mindset-wise, turn off the work week, turn off the school room, turn off the dynamic that you may have fallen into with the people you're sharing your space with, your quarantine, and be. And whatever weekend you have, that's okay too, because sometimes the weekends get to be pressured. How many Sundays, like, oh, that isn't the weekend I wanted to have, or like this weekend was supposed to be special, and these high pressure events. It's why so many kids, I think, end up crying at the end of prom and homecoming. It's not broken hearts. It's kind of like, this is it. We were building towards this moment. And so live in the moment. And if it's a great one, lock it in and remember it and celebrate it. And if it's not a great one, leave it behind. Like you're leaving behind this week. And we move forward, hopefully better, and taking steps to have more great moments and less negative ones. But let's please slow down on the capitalism of experience where we're constantly trying to do better and do more and meet the marks and not be behind. Just be. Let your kids be. Let yourself be. Enjoy the snow. Or don't. Either way is okay. This is not a snow day. This is not normal. At least not the old normal. Maybe this is it. Let's make the best of it that way. Thanks for watching. Subscribe down below. Shoot me a comment if you'd like. I always love hearing from you. Like the video or don't. That's okay too. I'll keep making them. I'm taking the weekend off. I'll see you guys back here next Monday. Day 59. It's a lot of days. Take care of yourself.